Life is a limited resource, one that cannot be paused, rewound, or extended at will. Yet many people move through their days as though time is infinite, behaving as if they have all the hours in the world to do the things they truly care about. This mindset is not only misguided but dangerously complacent. We live in a society filled with distractions, endless social media scrolling, binge, watching shows, meaningless arguments, mindless routines, all of which slowly eat away at our time and energy. People often wake up and immediately plug into their phones, checking notifications, emails, and feeds before they've even had a moment to consider what truly matters. Days pass in a blur, weeks disappear, and before long, years have gone by without any real progress made toward meaningful goals. It's easy to become caught in the rhythm of modern life, where being busy is often mistaken for being productive. But activity without intention is just movement, not progress. People chase temporary pleasures and avoid discomfort, unaware that this avoidance often becomes the very cause of their long-term dissatisfaction. We choose comfort over challenge, distraction over discipline, and routine over reflection. It's not always dramatic. We're not always wasting time in obvious ways. Sometimes the waste is subtle, staying in a job that no longer challenges you, putting off your passion projects, waiting for the perfect time to pursue your dreams, or spending years with people who drain your energy rather than uplift it. These choices may seem small and harmless in the moment, but over time they create a life filled with unfulfilled potential. There's a saying that goes, how we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. Yet we rarely pause to ask ourselves if our daily actions align with the life we say we want. Most people live reactively, responding to life rather than designing it. They follow schedules dictated by others, make decisions based on fear or convenience, and avoid the discomfort that often comes with real growth. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. Everything you admire in others, success, skill, discipline, creativity, was built on choices made in moments when it would have been easier to do nothing. It's easy to sit on the couch and complain about your situation. It's easy to fantasize about a different life. What's hard and rare is taking ownership of your time and intentionally using it to become the person you aspire to be. Every time you choose laziness over effort, distraction over focus, or excuses over execution, you're delaying your own evolution. You're trading the chance to live a meaningful life for temporary comfort, and the danger is that it often doesn't feel like a big deal in the moment. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, just one more episode, or I'm too tired today. But tomorrow turns into next week, then next year, and eventually you're staring down a life that looks nothing like the one you imagined for yourself. The truth is, if you're not intentional with your time, someone else will be. The world is full of people, systems, and distractions ready to steal your attention. Social media companies design apps to be addictive. Advertisers work around the clock to convince you that you need things you don't. Toxic relationships keep you stuck in emotional cycles that drain your energy, and worst of all, your own mind, full of self-doubt, fear, and procrastination, can become your biggest obstacle. That's why it's not enough to simply want a better life. You have to fight for it. You have to break out of autopilot and start choosing actions that align with your values, not your fears. That begins by acknowledging how much time has already been wasted, not to wallow in regret, but to light a fire under yourself. Regret can be a powerful motivator if you use it correctly. Ask yourself, if I keep living like this, where will I be in 5 years? If the answer scares you, then it's time to change, because no one is coming to save you. No perfect moment is coming. You either start now or you keep drifting, and drifting doesn't take you anywhere worth going. Wasting your life doesn't always happen in loud, obvious ways. In fact, it rarely does. It often happens in silence, behind closed doors, in those quiet moments when you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, or it's not that bad. But deep down, you know the truth. You know when you're not living up to your potential. You can feel it, like a quiet ache or a growing weight on your chest. That subtle, lingering dissatisfaction you feel at the end of each day, that's not normal. That's your soul trying to remind you that you're meant for more than just surviving. And yet, people settle. They settle for average jobs, mediocre relationships, empty habits, and excuses. They settle because it's easier, because change is scary, because effort is uncomfortable, and because the idea of failing is more frightening than the reality of never trying. But here's the cruel irony, the very thing people fear. Regret is exactly what they're sprinting toward every day they choose to stay the same. People cling to what's familiar, even if it's making them miserable, because at least misery is predictable. They say, this is just how life is, or not everyone can be successful, as if those statements are facts and not choices, but life doesn't have to be like that. You have the ability and the responsibility to break free from that mindset. No one else can do it for you. No one else is going to push you to become the person you were meant to be. That work is yours alone. It starts when you stop lying to yourself and start admitting that you're wasting your time. The problem is, our culture has normalized wasting life. It has disguised distraction as entertainment and turned laziness into a lifestyle. Everywhere you look, you're encouraged to take it easy, to prioritize comfort, to avoid hard things. The average person spends hours a day on their phone, scrolling through meaningless content, consuming other people's lives instead of building their own. We idolize celebrities, influencers, and fictional characters, living vicariously through them while doing nothing to shape our own story. We wait for motivation, not realizing that motivation is a byproduct of action, not the other way around, so we stay stuck, telling ourselves we need more time, more energy, more confidence. We keep waiting for some magical sign that the time is right to start. But the truth is, waiting is just another form of avoidance. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting the time you already have. Think about it. What could you have accomplished if you had been consistent for the last 5 years? What would your body, your career, your relationships, your mindset look like today if you had used your time with purpose instead of letting it pass by? That's not just a hypothetical question. That's a reality check. And here's something even more uncomfortable. Sometimes we waste our lives not out of laziness, but because we're afraid of our own potential. We fear success because it would mean we have to change, take risks, and hold ourselves accountable. It's easier to play small, to act like we don't care, to keep our goals vague and our schedules packed with distractions. That way, we always have an excuse. I would have done it, but I was too busy. I wanted to try, but things came up. We sabotage ourselves to stay in our comfort zone, even though it's killing us slowly. There is no glory in playing small. There is no honor in letting fear control your future. Life isn't going to hand you opportunities on a silver platter. You have to create them. You have to fight for them. You have to earn them by showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching, even when progress feels invisible. That is how real change happens. Not in sudden bursts of inspiration, but in quiet, consistent effort. So the next time you find yourself zoning out, wasting another hour on your phone, or putting something off because it's uncomfortable, remember this. Your life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not when things settle down, right now. And every minute you waste is a minute you can never get back. If that doesn't scare you at least a little, then you're not paying attention. Purpose is what separates a life of fulfillment from one of quiet despair. It's not just a lofty ideal or something reserved for special people. It's a necessity for a meaningful existence. When you don't have a clear sense of purpose, your days blur together into a monotonous routine. You wake up, go through the motions, distract yourself just enough to ignore the emptiness, and then repeat the cycle. But living without purpose isn't just boring, it's dangerous. It leads to apathy, depression, resentment, and regret. And the worst part, most people don't even realize that they're living without it. They confuse busyness for meaning. They equate having a full calendar with having a full life. But there's a big difference between being occupied and being fulfilled. Purpose is what gives your actions depth. It's what turns work into a mission, suffering into sacrifice, and ordinary days into stepping stones towards something greater. Without it, you'll always feel like something is missing, because something is. Finding your purpose doesn't mean you need to have your entire life mapped out. You don't need to know your final destination to start walking the path. What you need is clarity on what matters to you right now. What do you care about? What kind of person do you want to become? What kind of impact do you want to leave behind? These questions may not have immediate answers, but asking them is the first step toward living with intention. The danger lies in not asking at all. Most people avoid self-reflection because it forces them to confront uncomfortable truths, that they're not where they want to be, that they've been making excuses, that they've been wasting precious time. But discomfort is the price of growth. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, you're not willing to grow. And if you're not growing, you're dying. Life is dynamic. You're either moving forward or falling behind. And moving forward requires making choices, sometimes hard ones, that align with your core values, even when it's inconvenient, unpopular, or scary. Living with purpose also requires discipline. It's not enough to just want something. You have to act like you mean it. A person with purpose doesn't wait until they feel like it to do the work. They show up because they know that their time is limited and that wasting it is a betrayal of their own potential. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Every single day is a chance to take even one small step in the right direction. Write a page, go to the gym, learn something new, help someone. Say no to what doesn't serve you. Say yes to what challenges you. Over time, these small steps compound into massive transformation, but only if you commit. Purpose isn't found, it's built. It's shaped and revealed through action. Waiting to find your purpose before doing anything is like waiting to get strong before you go to the gym. You have to do the work first, and it's important to remember that purpose isn't always loud or glamorous. It doesn't have to be tied to a job title, a huge following, or a grand vision. It can be as simple as becoming a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. It can be raising a family with love and integrity. It can be dedicating yourself to mastering a craft, helping others, or learning how to live with more presence and honesty. The key is that you decide what matters most to you. Don't let society define your purpose. Don't let your past dictate your future. Don't let fear convince you that you're not meant for something more. You don't have to be the best in the world. You just have to stop wasting your life acting like you don't matter. In the end, purpose gives meaning to your pain, structure to your chaos, and direction to your days. It won't eliminate all your problems, but it will make them worth facing. It won't guarantee an easy life, but it will give you a reason to endure the hard days. When you live with purpose, even the smallest actions feel significant because you know they're part of something bigger. So stop drifting, stop letting fear and comfort run your life. Choose to live with purpose, and you'll stop wasting your life, not just by doing more, but by doing what actually matters. It's also important to cut out distractions and excuses if you genuinely want to stop wasting your life. In today's world, distraction is the norm. It's not just a side effect of modern living, it's the default setting. Everything around you is designed to steal your attention. Your phone pings, apps are engineered to be addictive, news feeds are designed to never end, and there's always a new show to binge or a new video to watch. But while these things offer short bursts of stimulation, they come at a cost. Every hour spent in mindless distraction is an hour you could have used to build something real. Time is the one resource you can never get back. And yet, most people treat it as if it's unlimited, giving it away freely to things that don't matter, and then wondering why their life feels empty. The harsh truth is that distraction isn't just stealing your time, it's stealing your potential. You can't become the person you want to be while constantly drowning in noise. Silence, solitude, focus. These are the conditions where real growth happens. But to create that space, you have to be willing to disconnect from the things that numb you. That means putting your phone down. That means saying no to things that aren't aligned with your goals. That means setting boundaries with people who only take from you. And most importantly, it means being brutally honest with yourself about how you're spending your days. Excuses are another silent killer of potential. We all make them, and they usually sound reasonable. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'll do it when I feel ready, or now isn't the right time. But these are just stories we tell ourselves to avoid discomfort. You might convince yourself that your situation is special or that your challenges are more difficult than everyone else's. But look around. There are people with fewer resources, more responsibilities, and greater obstacles who are still showing up, still trying, still moving forward. The difference isn't in their circumstances. It's in their mindset. They've stopped letting excuses run their life. They've decided that their dreams are more important than their comfort. And that's a decision you can make too. The reality is that you'll never feel ready, you'll never have the perfect schedule, the perfect level of energy, or the perfect circumstances. Life doesn't wait for perfection, it rewards action. You don't need permission to start. You don't need certainty, you just need to stop feeding yourself the lie that you can't. Blaming others is another way we avoid responsibility, and another way we waste our lives. It's easy to point fingers at your parents, your partner, your boss, the economy, the government, your past. But the moment you put the blame outside of yourself, you also give away your power. You're saying, I'm not in control of my life. And as long as you believe that, you'll stay stuck. Yes, maybe people hurt you. Maybe you didn't have a fair start. Maybe your situation is hard, but you're still responsible for what happens next. You can't control everything, but you can control your effort, your focus, and your attitude. And that's more than enough to change your life. Taking responsibility isn't about guilt or shame. It's about ownership. It's about standing up and saying, no more excuses. This is my life, and I'm going to do something with it. That shift in mindset from victim to author changes everything. Suddenly, you're not at the mercy of your circumstances. You're in charge. And when you realize that, you stop wasting your time wishing things were different and start working to make them different. Getting serious about your life also means being willing to let go of the things and people that don't support your growth. Not everyone is meant to come with you into the next chapter of your life. Some friendships, relationships, and habits were only meant for the version of you that you're leaving behind. If you want to evolve, you have to be willing to prune your life. That might mean spending less time with people who keep you stuck in the past. It might mean cutting ties with those who constantly criticize your goals or dismiss your ambitions. It might mean walking away from things that once felt comfortable but now feel suffocating. Growth requires space. And often that means letting go to make room for something better. It's not selfish, it's necessary. You cannot become who you're meant to be while clinging to who you used to be, so be bold enough to clear out the clutter. Get honest about what's holding you back and be courageous enough to remove it. In conclusion, your life is far too valuable to spend it sleepwalking through your days, numbed by distractions, shackled by excuses, and weighed down by fear. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you your dream life. No one is going to save you from your own wasted time, and no one, no matter how much they love you, can live your life for you. That responsibility is yours and yours alone. If you want to stop wasting your life, you have to start by waking up to the truth. You are wasting it. Not entirely, maybe, but even a few hours a day spent on things that don't serve you is still a slow erosion of your potential. That's how regret creeps in, not through catastrophic failure, but through the quiet, unnoticed decay of years spent doing nothing meaningful. It's not always about making huge changes overnight. It's about choosing every day to live on purpose rather than by default. It's about asking yourself, what am I doing today that gets me closer to the life I actually want? And if the answer is nothing, then something needs to change, starting now. There is no guarantee of tomorrow. People say this all the time, but very few actually live like they believe it. We all think we'll have more time to fix things, more time to try, more time to start. But the truth is, you don't know how much time you have left. Life can change in an instant. The opportunity that's in front of you today may not be there tomorrow. The people you love won't be around forever. The ideas and energy you have now won't last forever. You're not just wasting time, you're wasting your prime, and that's the real tragedy. Most people don't lose their dreams because they failed. They lose them because they waited too long. They waited for a sign, for permission, for perfect conditions that never came. And then one day they look back and realize that the window has closed, not because the world said no, but because they never said yes. But here's the good news, every moment you're alive is a second chance. No matter how long you've been off track, you can always start again. You don't need a new year, a Monday, or a crisis to get serious about your life. You just need a decision. A real, honest, no-turning back decision to stop wasting your potential and start using it. You are capable of so much more than you're currently showing the world. Your goals, your ideas, your voice, they matter, but they only matter if you act on them. Passion without action is just noise. Dreams without discipline are just fantasies. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be intentional. Start showing up for yourself in ways you never have before. Get disciplined. Get uncomfortable. Get focused. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things, the things that move you forward, the things that make your future self proud. You don't need a dramatic overhaul to start living with purpose. You just need to begin. Start by identifying the time wasters in your life and cutting them out. Set goals that align with your values. Build habits that support those goals. Say no to things that don't fit. Say yes to challenges that push you to grow. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, not drain you. Be relentless about becoming who you're meant to be. It won't always be easy. You'll stumble, get discouraged, and want to give up. But that's part of the process. Progress is messy. Growth is uncomfortable, but wasting your life, that's painful in a way that never goes away. The pain of discipline lasts minutes or hours. The pain of regret can last a lifetime. You get to choose which one you'll live with, so stop waiting, stop making excuses, stop telling yourself that someday is when your real life will begin. Your life is happening right now. Don't waste another minute of it. Be bold, be deliberate, be alive. You only get one life. Make sure it's one you're proud of.